Okay, I'm going to try this one again. This is a recent completed completed stitch of Trustworthy and True, which I believe is a Country Cottage Needleworks pattern. It is either that or Little House, and I am so sorry that I'm getting the two confused right now. I don't have the pattern in front of me. I actually have it in a de-stash pile, and I don't know where that pile is. I'm in the middle of a lot of reorganization right now. Originally, the pattern was supposed to say Trustworthy and True, and then the banner here to put whatever other wording that you wanted. This is my very first pattern that I started with counting over 2. So this is Water Lily is the color of the fabric, and I believe it's linen. It's 28 count. It may be even weave. Actually, I think it is even weave. I can't tell. It was a scrap that was given to me, and I started at the center and then counted up to the first stitch and started stitching. And obviously that count was not right because there's a lot more fabric at the bottom than at the top. And I realized that when I went to put these flowers in, or these leaves in, that there was now not enough space between his head and the flowers to put the Trustworthy across there, and then put the and True here. At that point, I kind of stopped with the project, laid it to the side, went on to some other things. Oh, excuse me. And in the course of that time, one of my best friends got married. So I knew that I would take this pattern and adjust it in some way for the new bride and groom. And so I started just by kind of finishing the rest of the items that were on the pattern, which is, of course, the border, this down here, the banner itself. This was all part of the pattern, and of course them. The change that I made to the female is I just changed her hair to kind of a variegated yellow to be like blonde. Of course, it makes almost a color too close to her face, but I'm not going to change that because this is, this is the skill that I have at the time, so that's how I'm leaving it. But it left this open space right here. And so I was trying to think of some wording to put there, and I was maybe thinking of putting like True Love or something. And this particular couple were together in their early teenage years and then separated for, over 20 years and then back together. So I really got stuck on wording and kind of stuck in my headspace and laid it back down again. And then they purchased a home, and so I said, okay, I will make them, this will be, instead of focusing on their wedding, it'll kind of focus on, the starting of this official life with the new home. And so I was going to put, their last name and the year that they purchased the home. And then I was going to fill this in with another one of these flowers. But I spoke with my friend, and she was like, I don't want to put anything with a year on it that has both of us, because we're torn over, do we want things to honor, the year we met, or, past dating, or when we re-met each other, or date we got married. I mean, there were so many dates that, and I said, well, your official wedding date, and they just didn't like that. So what I should have done was frogged this out and put the McBrayers and just left it at that. But this was a pattern that came with the silk thread. And because there's a bit of border in the blue, there is not enough blue left to frog that out and restitch. Because when I frogged a little bit of this out, before, I wasn't able to restitch with it. And since they didn't want a year, and then they decided they didn't want any words, so I just kind of tried to fill in a little bit of the area, and kind of take away some of the balanced. Yeah, I could have just done this all over again up here, but then these would have looked strange. And then I thought about taking these out and putting them here and putting this. It was becoming too challenging. So, in the interest of getting it done, this is what I ended up with. The lady is happy with it. She did not realize how small it was. So now I'm in desperate search for the perfect backing fabric to turn this into a small wall hanging that she could also stand on an easel if she wants to, so this can kind of be a piece that moves around their home. I am pleased with this because it is, finally finished and or finally complete, and that the recipients will be happy with it. And I did enjoy working with the silks, but a project that took way longer than it should have. Now I've been away from my home for 3 weeks working on helping a lady, and so I am in a desperate attempt to get my living quarters in order. And I've basically been running in the door, throwing things, grabbing things, running out the door, and I can't find anything. So I'm in the process of trying to do that, while at the same time trying to get over this cold/flu. So I hesitated on making floss tube videos right now, because I'm so far behind on watching them, and I know everyone else is. But finishes or complete stitches are so few for me that I decided to go ahead and put this out there, and at least as a point in time. So I hope everyone is having a wonderful day, making some great stitching memories yourself. And for those that have, back to school, hope that is all going well. And I look forward to catching up on all your videos soon. And hopefully it won't be so long before my next one. Have a great day.